Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last session we headed to Val Royeaux for the first time. Very exciting stuff. We saw that the top seeker dude has lost his rag a bit. I'm thinking that is the fault of Red Lyrium, but I guess we'll see. And yeah, we did a lot there. We recruited a couple of new people. We recruited Sarah and we recruited Vivienne, who I assume are going to be somewhere around to talk to. We will do that momentarily. And yeah, now we are heading back and seeing what we're going to do next. We just spoke to Cullen. Does Cassandra have anything new after that mission? Just tell me about yourself still.
I have some more questions. Why am I not surprised?
I'm guessing she won't tell us.
Tell me about your brother. I would prefer not to speak of...
Alright, okay, so doing a main mission doesn't necessarily mean that people have more to say. Oh, I should check these. Didn't I got a couple of new steeds, didn't I? Was it these? I think it might have been these. Okay, I don't care actually. I just decided I don't care. I like my big fucking chonker. Once again, there is an exclamation mark over here.
And I shall embrace you. In my arms lies eternity.
What a surprise. It does nothing. How are we doing for inventory space? 20 out of 60. We got a couple of that. Cassandra, how does that compare? That compares very fucking favorably. Were you really using a level 2 thing? Huh. Well, there you go. Enjoy your brand new level 9 thing. Bane of Red Crossing. Ah. Sarah. Hello. Bane of Red Crossing would be for you, yes? 83 damage, plus 9 constitution, plus 3 crit chance, plus 3 dex, plus 8 guard damage bonus, plus 10% chance to inflict immolate damage at 50% weapon power. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's a lot. Restrictions, not Varric. Is that... Does everything have not Varric? Because he uses Bianca? Sir Yves de Chivac used this bow in the Exalted March against the Dales, specifically in the liberation of Val Royeaux, where the Chevalier famously struck down the Elven forces commander with a shot to the throat at 200 feet. Well, there you go. And that is way worse. Yep, okay. Cool, cool. Now, as for armor, guessing you have, like, shit all in the way of armor. Enjoy a Ferelden Scout hat. You are welcome. Enjoy Superior Hunter Mail. You are welcome. Wait, did we get that specifically because she joined? Did we have that before? Because we've also got Enchanter Armor. Did we have that before? Or is that given to us because we had a rogue join, so we need stuff to give them? Accessories, we have fuck all to give you, but I'm sure with just a little bit of exploring, we will have a bunch of stuff to give her. Wait a sec, and we also need to do Vivienne. Is it? I don't know. How do I pronounce it? Is it Vivian or is it Vivienne? Where do I put the emphasis at the start or the end? Not sure. Not sure. Right. So you will need. Shit. We only have a terrible staff for you, huh? Well, I'm sure we'll find a better one. That is very bad, though. That is very, very bad. Armor, I guess Enchanter Armor. Yep. And that is worse. Okie doke. And no accessories. Okay. Cool.
Good day.
Good day.
There was no
Listen.
Sell. So this is all higher level. Boop, boop, boop. Level 12. This is bad. 7. Can we get rid of this now? I mean, like, it's taking up an inventory slot, but, like, what if I need it? Am I ever going to need it again? Or is this literally just for that one thing? Ah, whatever. It's taking up an inventory slot. It's gone. Valuables. Too many breaches is worth a whopping 16. Fantastic.
If I had something with that kind of power, I'd be retired.
all that existed was silence.
Has anything changed down here, or... Nah. seems like nah.
Been a while since I built one of these. Prayed to the maker that I'd never have to build another.
Alright.
I guess the maker paid you as much attention.
So, we need to go and speak to Sarah and Vivian. That was a bit of a hitch there. I'm guessing Varric doesn't have anything new to say, but let's check.
Need something?
No, this is all stuff we've said before. Okay, someone's in the pub that wasn't there before. I would hazard a guess that would be Sarah. Indeed. Unlocked once we were. Nice. Once we...
So, this is it, huh? Oh, no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars...
I wonder if that would have gone differently if I actually was a man.
Back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
There's more going on.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it. But I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there. But they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
We'll help them all see.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid. And smells of horse. Really? What everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, old-touched Lady Herald?
Okay, so she is a romance option. We are definitely not going to be doing that. We'll succeed. We have to.
I'm committed to putting an end to this crisis. Whatever it takes.
It's why I'm here, yeah? This is where it gets done. Whatever it is. Can't do a bloody thing with everyone pissing themselves. Stupid everyone.
Red Jenny says drop and grab operation available. Sure. We just got some codexes from that, didn't we? Oh, this will be a new one. They've gone a lot of steps forward with the codex, but they've gone back another step. They keep one day they will perfect this. But in Origins, when you scrolled onto something, it removed the star that showed you whether you'd read it already. So you were scrolling down the list, you couldn't see if the thing you just scrolled onto had the star or not, because the second you scrolled onto it from the bottom of the page, it was removed. So that sucked. And then they fixed that in Dragon Age 2. In Dragon Age 2, the star was removed when you scrolled off of the thing. And then somehow, someway, in this game, they've managed to fucking go back to the bad origin system of the star is removed when you go onto it, so that when you scroll down a page, it doesn't show you, because it's removed the second you hit it. I don't understand how they can have gone backwards. Like, everything else, so much better. The fact that it's now, like, across the page like this, and in massive groups, like, that is infinitely better. Overall, like, this is like 5 steps forward. But there is still that 1 step back, which they didn't have to make, and it's just like, why? Why did you do this? You fixed this. This is something you specifically fixed in Dragon Age 2, and then you unfixed it. It's not that big a deal, but still, it's weird. This report by Josephine has been defaced numerous times in a different hand. On Sarah, Red Jenny, and Velicissima, Lady Parts von Knucklefrance. I feel like Sarah's humour is just not my thing. It falls to me to comment on this Red Jenny, for as a creature of the court, I must have seen the effect of her actions, although I cannot be certain. Does that make them effective or ineffective? What I know is that she has vexed City's guardsmen across Thedas, and always escaped. Accessing all available records, it seems clear that there have been multiple embodiments of the name, often at the same time. The limitations of communication are such that this is impossible to verify at the moment. A crude drawing of a guard with her breeches at her ankles. The severity of the attributed actions vary wildly, from petty to outright vicious. While official reports label these actions unfair, I have knowledge of many named as victims, and several are of suspect character. Sarah would call them something altogether untoward. Yes, Mum, shits, the lot of them. There are tales of Red Jenny targeting criminals, slavers, and even assassins' guilds. The benefit of having a local is that they are invested in regional concerns, although this obviously varies. I can discern no protocol. Don't need a title to be awful and deserve it. So who is our Red Jenny? She has been amusing herself in Val Royeaux for some time, although it is clear from her accent that she is deeply for Elden. She met with outright laughter at my inquiry as to whether she had any special elven concerns that I could address. I have conferred with Leliana about the danger of this group, and our estimation is that this incarnation of Red Jenny is at least a good distraction. Or the scary one cares. Yeah, just not really my vibe, I think. Vivienne, Madame de Fer. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned. An assiduous and talented scholar, Vivienne rose rapidly through the ranks of Montsimard's circle. When made a full-fledged enchanter, she elected to join no fraternity, a decision that shocked colleagues, but may have been a calculated maneuver. When she successfully applied to be appointed enchanter to the Imperial Court, nearly every fraternity clamoured for her favour in hopes of having a representative at the Empress's ear. She was voted first enchanter of Montsimard at an age young enough to cause scandal. The circle widely regards her as the most shrewd and disciplined mage in Orlais. Wait, there's another character? Oh, here. Grand Enchanter Fiona. Grand Enchanter Fiona is considered an anomaly among mages. She is, for instance, the only member of the Circle of Magi ever to leave due to recruitment by the Grey Wardens, and then return. Huh. The circumstances of that return are largely unknown, but the notoriety she gained within the circle allowed her to rise rapidly in the ranks. Is there any more information about that? Because that's interesting. She was recruited by the Grey Wardens and then returned? That's massively interesting. I feel like I've never heard that before. Is there information about that in a game that I've missed? Or is it a book or something? I know there's a bunch of Dragon Age books and stuff. Where was I up to? I've lost my place. That's good. Rise rapidly in the ranks. She became first enchanter of the Montsimard Tower and then elected Grand Enchanter at the college in Cumberland. The latter was based on her advocacy for greater mage freedom, a view she claimed her time with the Wardens supported. Urging for a vote on the matter led to the College of Enchanters' dissolution in 940 Dragon, and then when a vote was attempted secretly to Lord Seeker Lambert of the Seekers of Truth arresting Fiona and her fellow enchanters. Whoopsie. Following their flight to the ruins of Andoral's Reach, the escaped mages held and passed a final vote on the Circle of Magi's independence. This began the Mage Rebellion. While Fiona no longer holds this official position of Grand Enchanter, most mages still consider her an integral part of the rebellion's leadership. Groups. The Friends of Red Jenny. The Friends, don't poke them. It's tempting, because what else can you do? But don't. Never know what you'll get, because Red Jenny, she's been around a long time. She's everywhere, and she hits hard, and she hits hard or she hits light, but the choosing isn't up to you. You want someone to get their dessert, save your coppers for a moral crow, and know what you're getting. Notes from Sir Kaiter, a travelling merchant to his son Herbal. They're a distraction, whichever they are. Keeps people busy and the law's edgy, and with the assaults not having any bearing, we've been paid to strike at guest rivals several times now. Bards should pay her a commission. My father went after her once. You want to lose your friends fast, just say you're tracking hers. He found a report that said she was killed in Navarra. Everyone in that command, to a man, dead or hobbled, or somehow lost their claims during the winter following. Know when that was written? 52 years ago. I'll take a witch over whatever she is. Let her pick at the nobles. I think it's nature. How's it work? You tell me how to tell. Ask for something bad to happen, eventually something does. Did she do it? Does it matter? Either way, you think you had a piece. Maybe that's enough. I know it was her. Keys do not simply go missing. And the horses, I suppose they were loosed quite by accident. And the fires that swept the southern quarter, the flooding in my summer home, the drop in the price of trade goods that just happened to coincide with my plans to sell my investments. The cholera I suffered last season. You're blaming her for cholera? The weather that is inclement whenever I'm travelling? You cannot tell me all these things were mere happenstance. Perhaps your disbelief is her doing as well. You're dismissed. Everyone is dismissed. Okay. That is some massive copium. Tales. That's a song. That's a song. That is a song. Okay. I assume you have more to say?
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks
what is that outfit, by the way?
Name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
Wait, what? I can say you don't fit the Inquisition? Huh. That's dicey to have that right next to the investigate button. Like, you could so easily, especially because they've removed... I swear in the previous game, you had a little circle, like, inside the circle, and when you spun your analog stick, you could see the smaller circle spin around perfectly with the analog stick. I'm pretty sure that was a thing, unless I'm losing my mind. But now that's not gone, so you can't see like exactly where the crossover point is between these two things anymore. When you had the little arrow pointing to them, you could see exactly where you were holding the thing. But yeah, I feel like that's a bit risky to have that right there. Any opinions about our allies?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Solus.
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Varric?
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Vivienne? Oh, wait. Vivienne's a question mark. Cassandra?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
My advisors?
What do you think about our Spymaster, Ambassador, and Commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
Vivienne.
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch. But she knows. She better.
What? Okay, fucking hell. Why was that one a question mark? It was the same as the rest.
I'll be here.
Weird.
Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armoured, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
Thoughts on the Inquisition?
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Does this not even know what they're chasing? Fair question for me as well, I suppose. Everybody following a rumour. At least I'm used to that.
Does this happen? Does anything else happen if I click this again?
The people who have gathered.
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
It just lets you do them all again, I guess. Okay.
We'll talk later.
Good. Ready for waiting.
Tell me about your background.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
Who trained you?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Not typically.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence? Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Well, it's not like that for other elves, I know that.
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
Where are you from?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
Guess she was the one we were working with in Dragon Age Origins briefly then. I can make evasive jokes too.
Oh, you're from wherever. I'm from North wherever.
What?
North wherever. Oh, we had fun on street and or in local tavern.
Oh, hardy ha. Oh, funny you. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
Like, where you grew up is not a complicated question. Like, even if it's like you moved a bunch and it's 4 places, then you just say the 4 places. What? It's nice knowing other elves.
I'm just interested in talking to an elf like me.
Don't think so.
What?
Why not?
Disapproves?
Well, maybe you're alright. But most elves are too elfy.
What?
Like that Solus, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's no value in tradition. You're saying get over it, just throw it all away. You're saying get over it?
I think there's more to it than that. A few thousand years more.
Hey, someone wants to be angry about old debts, be angry. Be a terror that never lets an enemy forget. But if you're digging it up so you can wear it, that's just weird. I mean, you Dalish don't really know. You have stories, but that's all they are. It's all fancy dress, not history.
We'll talk later.
If you say so. Ready for waiting.
Tell me about your friends.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
What does your group do?
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
So you pretend that's moral?
So, who decides who deserves it? You? By what authority?
Look, Dukey cuts a stable boy's finger off for snagging a biscuit. He's eating an arrow for tea. Deserves it. Most times, it's just fun. And embarrassed, the same as dead for some. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
Was there ever a Red Jenny?
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
Do you share the blame too?
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
I suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
I expected people from you.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, they wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway, the little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
Do they even know what you do?
Seems like there's no way the people who contribute could even know what they're helping with.
Don't need to. Maybe some ask for a target, a note like. But maybe they plant something just to help mess with things. I did something and something happened. That's a wish for some people. Probably not heralds. Anyway, sometimes I don't even do anything and people think I did, because something happened anyway. That's good too. Free payday. And free blame right. But whatever.
Well, as long as it works.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit?
In it.
Hey, it's you again.
I need a lockpick, do I?
I was wondering if you could look at some locks for me.
What, the doors under the chantry?
You know about them.
Ah.
Doors. I just wasn't interested in poking through some sister's breeches. Whatever floats you. Consider them open, yeah?
Cool.
Ready for waiting.
Is that it then? Wait, have I done this? Thoughts on the Inquisition?
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Does this lot even know what they're chasing? Fair question for me as well, I suppose. Everybody following a rumor. At least I'm used to that.
Okay.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Yeah, she's a weird one, huh?
Right now, we just need to be careful.
Solus! Hello.
What can I do for you?
Nothing at all, apparently.
Later.
Goodbye.
Man, I still can't get over how cold you must be. We got any upgrades we can do? Yes, we do, in fact. Increase healing. Sure. Sounds good. Lyrium potion. We need a ton more elf fruit. Man, I feel like I've been picking up elf fruit like a motherfucker. And somehow, I only have enough for a single thing. Crazy. Still haven't found... Oh, no, we have found this. Wait, what did that say? Plus 12 bonus to armor rating for 30 seconds. And that uses elf root as well? Oh, fuck me. I guess I do have to literally pick up every elf root I see. God damn it. Coats the target location with pitch, which remains for 60 seconds. That's pretty big. Are you serious? I need one more Blood Lotus? And that increases duration to 90 seconds? That's got to be for bosses, I guess, then. Because, like, normal enemies do not last 60 seconds, let alone 90. Right. Do you have anything to say?
You're back. And in one piece.
Nah, it's all the same.
Farewell.
Alright, so, Vivian's going to be around somewhere. She is definitely going to be more interesting to talk to than Sarah, I think. Is she in here? Oh no, this is Liliana. Hello.
I'm listening.
Only any updates?
Anything I should know? I've nothing to report at the moment.
Sag.
I'll leave you to your work.
Liliana, I want to spend more time with you. Liliana. Can't you come and join us, please? Okay, so that's Varric. So where the fuck is... Does it say? It does say Varric, Sarah, Solus, Liliana, Vivian's inside. Okay, and then Josephine's up there. Alright, back in we go then. Are we going to get cutscened? Because, like, there's a quest marker here. We are going to get cutscened. You motherfuckers. Son of a bitch.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter. You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
Of course. Hey, I was just talking to you outside. How are you getting here before me?
Senses as well as the capital.
I mean, the Templars abandoned their senses the moment they joined the Templars. The Chantry's dealt with. At least we made contact. Going was worth the risk. I mean, I guess it was worth the risk.
We got to do something.
We got some allies out of it.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
Yeah, let's do that.
The Mage Rebellion is more united. It could be 10 times worse.
Alright, cry about it. Wait, why would... Wait, I can just defer the choice? No. We should meet the mages, obviously.
I could at least find out what the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
They've got it.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
Gee. I wonder why. You think it's a trap?
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in
I mean, we were just searching for them in the Storm Coast.
They have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Sounds suspicious.
That does sound odd. I agree. The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Black.
Why would we disregard her suspicions? I feel like she's the one we should listen to the most.
Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And sure.
If he can't, then there may be more going on than we thought.
I feel like ignoring Liliana is a very bad idea. Bomb. There's an exclamation mark out here? Creme. Hello, Creme.
Excuse
Do I
me.
know you?
I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Identify yourself.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
Sure. Tell me about your company.
What can your Bulls Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references.
Tell me about your leader.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Kunari, the
Oh.
big guys with the horns. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Well, I like that. Why give us this message?
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
Well, we welcome the help.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Cool. Okay. We have some new codex stuff. Where's the new one? Why am I not seeing a new one? What? Am I insane? Did it not say characters had a new one? We read all of these. I swear it said that characters had a new one, but I guess not. The Grey Wardens. The Blight had ravaged the land for months. The armies of the Great Kings amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of Darkspawn, with the Archdemon at its head. It was then, when courage seemed to fail and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between men and the encroaching Darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies, and held that line until the Archdemon was dead, and the last Darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. Then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, that none of their blood had been spilled. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. The tale outlined above is widely told, although subject to regional variations. Free marchers might substitute great kings for titles bestowed in their given city-states. In Ferelden, the implied army of Wardens is sometimes replaced with two, representative of the national heroes who fought and defeated the Archdemon at Denerim during the Fifth Blight. The beating of wings is a reference to the Griffins the Wardens are said to have ridden into battle. Although Griffins went extinct long before the recent Blight, they still appear in numerous stories, sometimes serving as a metaphor for the Wardens' unrestrained courage, but also employed to please an eager audience. That's another group. The Qunari, right. The people of the Qun are, perhaps, the least understood group in Thedas. The Qunari Wars were brutal, but so was the Chantry Schism. So was the fall of the Imperium. Some of this misunderstanding is an accident of nature. The race we call Qunari are formidable. Nature has given them fierce horns and strange eyes, apart from when they look like Sten, and the ignorant look on them and see monsters. Some is an accident of language. Few among the Qun's people speak the common tongue, and fewer speak it well. In a culture that strives for mastery, to have only a passable degree of skill is humiliating indeed, and so they often keep quiet among foreigners out of shame. But much of it is a result of the culture itself. The Qunari view their whole society as a single creature, a living entity whose health and well-being are the responsibility of all. Each individual is only a tiny part of the whole, a drop of blood in its veins. Important not for itself, but for what it is to the whole creature. Because of this, the Qunari most outsiders meet belong to the army, which the Qun regards as if it were the physical body, arms, legs, eyes and ears, the things a creature needs in order to interact with the world. One cannot get to know a person solely by studying his hand or his foot, and so one cannot truly meet the Qunari until one has visited their cities. That is where their mind and soul dwell. In Seheron and Parvalen, one can truly see the Qunari in their entirety. There the unification of the Qunari into a single being is most evident. Workers, whom the Qun calls the mind, produce everything the Qunari require. The soul, the priesthood, seeks a greater understanding of the self, the world, and exhorts the body and mind to continually strive for perfection. The body serves as the go-between for the mind, the soul, and the world. Everyone and everything has a place, decided by the Qun, in which they work for the good of the whole. It is a life of certainty, of equality, if not individuality. History. We read all those. We read that. Oh, this is the new one, right? The Wrath of Heaven. This was the name of the opening quest. Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of heaven. Field and forest shall burn, the seas shall rise and devour them. The wind shall tear their nations from the fact of the earth. Lightning shall rain down from the sky, and they shall cry out to their false gods and find silence. Who was Andraste? This question has lingered in the ages since her death, not as easily answered as the faithful assume. Born an Alamari slave in the frontier realm of the Tevinter Imperium, now Ferelden, the chant says she is the bride of the Maker, that he told her in a vision of her role leading the rebellion against the corrupt Magisters. Is it true? Or, as some early Andrastian cults believe, did a friendly spirit bestow this vision? We must remember that legends of Andraste were multitude in the years immediately following her execution, and beliefs we take for granted belong to the cult victorious in suppressing all others. Indeed, even to suggest there was once disagreement was considered the direst heresy, until today, when we have lost even the memory of disagreement. All we know for certain is that Andraste inspired a world gripped by tyranny and chaos, that she helped spark a war which tore all of Thedas asunder. That was quite a bit of reading. Okay, Vivian, where you at, gal? Where you at?
I will take these injury reports to
Wait, did I just walk past you? You're here, right? Oh, you're in this room. Wait, no, this goes down. Wait, what? Am I fucking blind? Have I just walked past you again? Oh, you're in the corner here. Hello. Not got your big hat on anymore. How's it going?
You've never been to a circle as far as I can tell, yet you're remarkably skilled. Were you self-taught?
I was trained by my keeper.
Not at all. I studied magic with Keeper Deshana.
I have heard about the traditions of magic among the Dalish keepers, but it's all third-hand. In my own experience, nothing is more deadly to a young mage than a lack of knowledge, which makes the current state of things precarious. What do you imagine will happen if the circles are not restored? Do you foresee the Dalish taking us all under their wing?
See, I know that if I want to up her approval, I should say this. But I don't believe that. I believe this. But that's going to get fat disapproval. So, what should I do? Should I, as the fucking top banana, what am I called? The Inquisitor? Should I fucking go for, like, making people like me by lying to them? Or should I go for speaking my mind and then she's going to disapprove? Ah, fuck it. Speaking my mind. Mages should be free.
Mages deserve the same freedom as anyone else.
I hear that so often. It must be a great comfort to the common folk to know that their survival is trivial compared to ours.
Their survival is not trivial.
I'm sure that makes everything better.
Mages do not deserve to be locked up just for the chance of their birth. If it is not restored
quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
Like, look at my character. My character is a mage. My character has never been in a circle. My character has done no wrong, is pretty chill, hasn't, like, fucking gone out and, you know, summoned demons and done all this bad shit, even though she wasn't part of a circle. I am living proof that you don't need to fucking catch and lock up every mage everywhere just because they were born a mage, just because of that happenstance, that they happened to be born with a power that they didn't ask for. Like, you can't lock people up for that. You can't lock people up for something that they were born with. It's crazy. And you also can't lock people up just because they might one day do a crime. That's insane. So, yeah, no. Insanity. I'll do all I can.
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
I'll use it to change things.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you. Yes?
Tell me about the Circle.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
Wasn't the Circle disbanded?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The Circle is an idea, my dear. And an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
Up the rebels! Yeah, fucking get in, rebels. Fuck the loyalists. I mean, I don't want her to replace Fiona. Fiona's the one in the right, but I'll say it anyway, just to see what she says.
If you led all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
When? Ha! She thinks it's a when. If this game ends with the circles being restored, then I will fucking lose all interest. That would be so bad. That would be the dumbest shit if after the end of a massive Mage Templar war, the end result of an entire fucking game's worth of upheaval is, and now we return to status quo. I will be pissed beyond all belief, so they better not fucking do that. What was Circle life like?
What was it like to live in a Circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
The other thing really annoying about this fucking purple fuzz flickery effect is that it comes with like this low hum, which I guess I tuned out originally, but I'm now really noticing it. Like, it's just this constant... Shut the fuck up! What? How can I turn this thing off? I don't want it. What about your experience?
So tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And there is comfort to be had, you know, in the company of fellow mages. Those born without magic will never truly understand us.
Was confinement hard?
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or...
That's not fucking true. Everything, unless they're retconning that, everything we have learned until now says that is a lie.
Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive. Perhaps too permissive, in retrospect.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, estimation of you fucking dropping like a rock.
How did we come to this state with the Circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected Circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions.
Oh yes, let's label anyone that doesn't enjoy being oppressed as a malcontent. Real nice.
Protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day.
Right, but
So
Anders
long as
wasn't
they
even
had their
part of a
freedom,
circle.
They could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Do you know Fiona?
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Were they justified?
Did they have cause to rebel?
Obviously.
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder.
They definitely did not say that.
My colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas.
That is the fucking thickest take I've ever heard.
100 to 1.
That is the most dumb fuck take I have heard in this game so far.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the
Brexit
entire
moment.
free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder.
No,
Anyone who
they
did not
didn't.
wish to
That's so
support
stupid.
terrorism
That's
and
such a
slaughter of
thick
innocents
take.
was forced to take arms against the rebels.
That is so dumb. That is fucking mind-numbingly dumb.
Yes?
Wait, isn't that what we just did? Tell me about the circle? Is there
I
more?
wanted to ask you about the Circle of Major.
Of course. What do you wish to
Tell
know?
me about the Templars.
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royal. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
The Templars are generally the unpleasant elements themselves. Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Where are you from?
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Monsignor while still an apprentice.
How did you become a courtier?
I'm curious how a Circle mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
You married a duke?
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine.
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
Ah, sure. What is a court enchanter?
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
Before this conversation, I probably would have clicked this. But now I know that Sarah was right. You are a bit of a bitch, so never mind.
Yes?
Tell me about yourself.
Like
There was more to click on, right?
Whatever would you like to know?
Oh, I guess there wasn't. Okay, so what's the other one then? Oh, wait, no, that's it. Oh, okay. I want to help the... No, I don't want to help the Circle, but I want to know what she says if I say that.
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the Circle?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
I mean, I'm not interested in restoring circles, but this is not restoring the circle, so sure.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the circle would be in your debt.
Find a circle tome in Hinterland's western approach, Exalted Plains. Sure. Wow. Yeah, man. I thought that I left Sarah going, wow, you're not really my kind of person. I don't really like, don't really vibe with your humor or your like general vibe. So I think I like Vivian more. And then I went to talk to Vivian, and suddenly I think Sarah's fucking God's gift to humanity. Because turns out Vivian is pretty fucking awful. So that's interesting. Did not expect that. Did not expect that. Sarah said she'd open the things down here, right? Did she do it? Aha, she did. Andraste, Bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathous, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child, Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland. I feel like we read this. Did we read this? I feel like we read this in DA2. At the very least, we've definitely read Andraste's story in general, like, 20 times at this point, so... I do wonder if Andraste is ever going to become, like, a character. Like, because, according to all the myths, she still exists as the Maker's bride. So, whether or not that's, like, true or not, who knows? But, like, she definitely could become a character, even though she's supposedly dead. Like, if her soul lives on somehow, then they can, like a spirit, they can stick that in another body or whatever. It's just like, Andraste is the thing that the games have talked about more than anything else. I've read about Andraste's fucking journey and everything that happened to her and the aftermath and, like, her ashes and her temples and the fucking chantry and shit that spawned from it. And, like, she is the single most talked about character in all of the games, and yet she's, like, dead ages ago. So I do wonder if they'll ever, like, bring her in some meaningful way, like, you can talk to her somehow, or, like, if they're ever going to actually take her any further, or whether it's always just going to be something you hear about. The disciples of Andraste are unique in all of history. The cult preceded the chantry and kept itself so hidden and isolated that it actually survived to modern day. The disciples made their home high in the Frostback Mountains, in a village called Haven, which is now a sanctuary for pilgrims of the Chantry. It is understood that the disciples were descendants of the first followers of Andraste, who brought her ashes to Ferelden and built the temple to house it. Because they had pledged themselves to the keeping of the Temple of Sacred Ashes, the disciples of Andraste never left the Frostbacks. For 900 years they kept strangers away, killing all who came close, and were completely oblivious to the world that advanced beyond the boundaries of their home. Having developed separately from the traditions of the Andrastian Chantry, the disciples were led by revered fathers. However, little else is known about the original beliefs of the disciples, for they had turned from their noble heritage by the time they were discovered. Almost all scholars believe that the centuries-long isolation imposed upon the village led to the necessity for inbreeding. Ah! Great. This practice likely led to a greater incidence of madness, which may explain why the cult was, at the time of its discovery, worshipping a high dragon. According to writings discovered in Haven, the disciples of Andraste showed reverence to the dragon, believing it to be the prophet reborn. The egg clutches and dragonlings of the dragon were afforded great honor for being Andraste's offspring and were cared for by the cult. The dragon never attacked the cult, being cunning enough to recognize how the arrangement benefited it. In 930 Dragon, the disciples were wiped out by the hero of Ferelden, who was on a quest to retrieve the sacred ashes of Andraste. They were there for hundreds of years, and then along came Dalen, and was like, "Stop! Fire spell!" And then they all died. Man, I super wish this low humming was gone. I did quit the game, by the way. I hoped that maybe if I quit the game in between recording sessions and came in fresh that it would disappear, but it did not. So I don't know how I get rid of it. Maybe next time we get into combat it will go away or something. The Black City. Oh, I love the Black City. The Black City is so cool to me. I want to go there at some point. Such a fucking cool, like, just concept. The Golden City to the Black City. No traveller to the Fade can fail to spot the Black City. It is one of the few constants of that ever-changing place. No matter where one might be, the city is visible, always far off, for it seems that the only rule of geography in the Fade is that all points are equidistant from the Black City. The chant teaches that the Black City was once the seat of the Maker, from whence he ruled the Fade, left empty when men turned away from him. Dreamers do not go there, nor do spirits. Even the most powerful demons seem to avoid the place. It was golden and beautiful once, so the story goes, until a group of powerful Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium devised a means of breaking in. When they did so, their presence defiled the city, turning it black, which was, perhaps, the least of their worries. Yeah, because they became the Darkspawn, including Corypheus, who... I'm still unsure, the fucking Black Emporium description saying that we're fighting Corypheus or whatever. Like, was that just a fat spoiler? Is BioWare just, like, kinda dumb? And they just... Like, the game's been out 8 years. This must have been noticed that the Black Emporium description... If that is a thing, and we are fighting against him currently, and I shouldn't know that yet, then, like... How would that not have been noticed in 8 years and patched? That surely is an easy patch to make, that you just change it so it doesn't say that. Right? Surely, updating a line of text cannot be that hard to patch. I really don't understand how in 8 years that would still be there. Unless it isn't a spoiler and it's just like some kind of weird typo. That makes me think it must be a typo, but I don't understand how it could be a typo. Because, like, Corypheus was in a different game. You can't accidentally typo, like, that would be accidentally typoing me as, like, Marion or whatever. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But it also doesn't make sense that they would put that in and it would stay there for 8 years, because surely they would go, oh, we've put a spoiler in our game. Maybe we should not do that and quickly change it. I don't know. I'm still weirded out by that. But man, I really like the Golden City, Black City lore. It's very cool. It's very cool. And I also wonder if there's more to it. Like, we obviously know, like, when we spoke to Corypheus briefly, he did seem to confirm that they went there and that they were cast out, and that's what turned them into the first Darkspawn, along with the Architect, who I really hope we see again, because we did not really... We read about him once, I think, in DA2, but I would love to talk to him again and see what's up with him. But he didn't confirm... Corypheus didn't confirm that their presence turned it black. I think he said it was supposed to be golden or something, which kind of implies that it was already black when they got there, so... I don't know. Like, it was... If you get to somewhere and it is golden, and then it turns black, you don't turn around and say it was supposed to be golden, because you've seen that it was golden, and then it changed. So, I don't know. Maybe it was already fucking, like, corrupted and defiled before they got there, and they were just corrupted by entering it, because it was a corrupted place already, potentially? I don't know. I don't know. I would like to learn more about the Black City. At some point, hopefully. What else have we got? Anything in here? Yep. Cheeky loot. Loot. I want to get that loot. I want to grab that loot. Use that loot. You know it's true. Want to grab that loot. Misplaced notes. Notes written by one of the scholars responsible for restoring Haven. The notes have obviously come loose from a ledger of some sort. It took weeks scrubbing bloodstains from the stone. One of two things is true. Either stone is more porous than I thought, or Maker's beard there must have been a lot of blood. How many people died? I'm so relieved I didn't have to deal with the altars of sacrifice the first arrivals found. Those were tossed off a cliff, I think. So now we just have to deal with the stains on the walls and floors. If this doesn't clean up in a day or two, I'm asking for some fresh plaster. Maybe we can cover them up. Still, it's not all bad. Haven is a beautiful place, and while working in the dungeons, we found scraps of paper with writing that looks like Brother Ferdinand Gentivi's. He was held here for weeks before the hero Ferelden found him. Right, yes, that is true. Although he wasn't in the dungeon when we found him. He was just, like, lying in a side room, right? But he was certainly being held captive. And we killed the imposter dude. Yeah. Very sus. Saw him vent. Alright, thanks for that, Sarah. So,
I don't know if upon his parents and on Mistress Lavelle, Do you have a moment?
Turn in some of that shit. Spider fangs removed, drangling scales, deep stalker claws. Did you have something to say?
Did you need something, Ambassador?
Yes. Well, not precisely, but I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly, Herald, for being an elf.
Not that I've noticed. Actually, did someone... I think someone did say something shitty early on, didn't they? Nothing I can't handle.
I can deal with a few whispers and sideways looks.
I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andraste's Herald is an elf, the Inquisition must give you its utmost support. Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn.
Man, I wonder what she'd say if I was a fucking Kunari. And she'd probably say nothing at all if I was human, I'm guessing. Give me an example.
How have the rumors gotten worse?
I would prefer not to repeat them.
Give me something.
Stealing children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages, using infants for blood magic. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
Do they care I'm a mage?
Isn't the magic just as much a problem as my ears?
It depends which way the wind is blowing. Magic is meant to serve man, the chant teaches. Close the breach, and we can claim that is why Andraste chose you. Hopefully it will be enough to replace this gossip about the Dalish.
Those stories are dangerous.
The humans telling those tales are the first to take a knife to someone with pointed ears. My clans defended ourselves against them more times than I can count.
Really? I had no idea. I will do what I can to end this slander, Herald.
Appreciate it.
May help if I know more about how you and your clan lived.
Through hard work, I guess.
Getting up before dawn to fish, constantly mending wagons and tents, spending days on the hunt. I still can't believe city dwellers have food delivered straight to their doorsteps.
Really? I never considered it extraordinary. Haven is so far away from home. You must miss the people of your clan.
Ooh. I very much so. Don't think about it. It's time I made my own name. I kept myself. You know what? I do like her. I'd miss knowing you more.
If I'd never left home, Josephine, I would never have met you. That would be the greater tragedy.
What? Really? There is more to this, Mistress Llewellyn. Whatever comes, your role as Andraste's Herald will mark your clan in history.
I'm not the first famous elf. What is that symbol? Oh, is that because I unlocked the extra dialogue options thing? I bet that's an extra dialogue options thing, which means I've got to use it.
There have been other elves close to Andraste. Shartan led an army of them in her name.
This is true. I'd forgotten. The Chantry is not fond of Shartan. Perhaps we should draw parallels. Hint that Andraste's favor has returned to an elf in our time of need. Thank you, Herald. There are some letters I should write.
Yeah, she seems really nice. So far, potential romance options. Josephine, definitely. Cassandra, definitely. Solus, definitely. Cullen, definitely not. Vivienne, definitely not. Did Sarah have one? I'm not sure if Sarah had one, but that would also be a definitely not. Varric hasn't given me the option, I don't think.
What may I do for you?
Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame...
And Leliana hasn't given me the option.
We must aim for more.
Alright.
Let's speak later.
Another time.
Alright. Let's see what we can do with our old friend, the table.